And go. Hello, hello, and welcome.
Oh my goodness.
To a Twitch program.
It's a thing that we do on Twitch.
Yeah.
And not YouTube because we haven't set up a multiple stream thing.
I mean,
yet?
you can live in the past on YouTube.
You can live in the past on YouTube, just
We
like
have.
all of us.
we have all of our past episodes available on YouTube, but they don't stream
do.
there live.
No, we don't. I mean, there's ways to do like stream everywhere live, but that's I couldn't figure it out, and it looked like a hassle, so I haven't done it. But welcome.
Welcome.
Oh my goodness! Didn't see you walk in.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm about to blow my nose. Is how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Oh, nice. That's a very convenient way to pass it off. I'm doing great. Feel great.
That's good.
And, I'm doing my favorite thing in the world, which is DrawBomb.
That's right. That's us. I am also doing great.
It's great to hear.
I love it when my mustache grows long enough, or when I blow my nose, I have to like wipe my nose like after the blow, and then also like make sure I get like the tips of the mustache too, just because like I can still feel.
Gotta clean the snot out of your facial hair.
Yeah, that's when you know it's like, okay, you should be shaving, and I would have shaved.
That's been my life for a while now.
This is true. I don't know how you deal with it because it drives me crazy.
The trick is just be a disgusting human, and the rest all comes naturally.
I've tried that, but it's only working out for me somewhat. Do you have some sort of program I can follow where I can learn how to be a better disgusting human being?
No, I think it's just a natural quality. I don't really think you either have it or you don't.
Well, I guess I wasn't born with the amazing gift to be scummy. I don't know.
No.
I don't know how you want to describe that. It sounds like sounds really mean when I say
Well, I mean,
it like
that was
that.
kind of the road we were going down. We got Z Newts
All right.
in the chat.
Oh my goodness
Representing
gracious.
the Shitbeard gang. Welcome.
Hey,
A fellow Shitbeard.
love the Shitbeard gang.
You know,
I'm part of the Shitbeard gang. That's because I put actual shit in my beard.
God wanted me to have a beard, so I have one, you know?
So I have a shit beard. I would have shaved actually before this show, but I also don't like the way I look without any facial hair, and I don't have like a trimmer.
Right. You gotta find the happy medium.
Yeah, I need to get one of those like beard trimmers where it's just like, we'll leave a little bit there, we'll give you a little bit of
You
something.
need like a
to work
guard of some sort.
with. Yeah.
I'm fairly happy with my beard, but have you ever seen like somebody who just has like a beautiful like? It's just upsetting for people who attempt to grow a beard, and like I'm fine with mine, but there are people that have just like it's just beautiful beards. And if I grow mine anything longer than like where it's at, it starts to just look like I crawled out of the gutter.
If I don't have a beard, my face looks super dumb, like a baby face, and my mom's always like, "Oh, you have such a great face." And it's like, no, I fucking don't, Mom. Don't lie to me. This shit looks like a 12-year-old. But then if I let my beard grow too long, I just look gross. As does everybody, but some people I think can rock the long beard better than others. And I think it helps when you can grow like the full knit like thing. Like mine only grows in patches, so it looks worse.
Right. It also just depends on how it grows, because I've seen people that have like long beards, but it just grows like really. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Instead of being like all sticking out, all like wiry, it like flows like.
Oh yeah.
Like actual hair.
Yeah, it's that ain't me.
No, me neither.
That ain't me, dude.
I do what I can. The beard for me is somewhat laziness.
It's a little bit of laziness for me. It's like it wouldn't be this long if I had shaved it like 5 days ago, like I told myself I would. But I didn't.
But here you are.
Here I am.
Well, Ian, don't live with regrets.
It's too late for that. My whole life has been regret.
Oh, come on.
It's hard not to regret all the things you have done in your life, but maybe it's even harder to regret the things you haven't done in your life, because, you know.
That's usually what people's regrets consist of, I think.
Well, the things I haven't done.
I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both.
I don't know. It sounds like you're speaking from a place of experience. What kind of name your regrets, Brandon?
I don't have that many, to be honest.
Interesting. Never made anyone feel bad, and you're just kind of like,
well,
I feel bad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess there's some stuff like that. There's decisions I've made that I would do differently. We're not going to do a deep dive of those on the show, but you know, in case my therapist is watching, I want reruns for them, you know.
Okay. Do you regret getting a therapist?
Yeah, they suck. But I don't know how to tell them. I keep trying to drop hints, but they're not understanding.
You should just get them to watch our show and then like talk shit on them.
Yeah, that's a good way to do things.
There's no way this picture is not gonna look weird, by the way. Like, we decided what we were gonna draw like 2 minutes before
Usually
the show
they're all
started.
like sitting at like a table.
Yeah, I clearly didn't go for it.
I mean, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to still, you could flip that drawing and erase them from about there down.
I'm fine. Look, all of like here down is just like me continuing. Like, if I really wanted to make it like a good drawing, I would put like pants starting about there, and then like a good like legs, maybe like anyways, look, the point is, this is gonna be a weird drawing regardless. I think it's gonna be
one of our best.
Okay, I'm glad that you have the enthusiasm for that.
I regret nothing about this.
Oh, didn't we just talk about this? I don't have any regrets, ever.
Oh, you also don't? Cool.
Oh, yeah, totally. None whatsoever. So anyways, speaking of regrets, last episode we were making fun of Rivers Cuomo.
Yes.
And
primarily his name.
His name, but I also started to feel bad at the end of that episode.
You regretted that.
I regretted that. Because like I follow a person on Twitter, and I'm not even on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter since like October of last year or some shit like that. But I follow a person on Twitter, and who is trans, and they like posted a series of comics about like their difficulties like changing their name and things like that, and like sort of the hoops they had to jump through. And obviously like a stage name is very different than getting a name change. Because a name change is much more legally binding, I think, than a stage name. Because, like, you know, if your name's like Snoop Dogg, you still get your check sent to you. What the fuck Snoop Dogg's real name is?
Right. Write it out to Mr. Dog. That's 2 G's.
Yeah. Making this out to S Dog. But I felt bad because this person I follow on Twitter also changed their name. I'm not going to like say the person's name because like I'm basically saying we ended up inadvertently kind of making fun of this person.
Oh.
But this person's like name that they changed it to was involving a body of water, which we were making fun of Rivers Cuomo because he changed his first name to Rivers. But this person changed their name to like a body of water.
I don't think we were straight up making fun of the fact. I mean, it turned into that, but we were just saying like that's an eccentric name, Rivers Cuomo.
It
like,
is.
That's what we're
It's
making
not the
fun
worst
of.
name I've heard.
I've heard of
It's
people
not
named
the worst name I've
River,
heard.
and that's not inherently a bad name by any means.
Wasn't
It's just,
that Joaquin Phoenix's brother's name too?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we
I don't
watched
think
him die.
River's a bad name. I think River can be a cool name. Rivers Cuomo is like it's like you sat down with a pad. I wanted to see what the other drafts were. He there's like he was trying to be like dramatic, you know.
Yeah.
That you can tell.
He's a very
You feel-
dramatic person.
Yeah, you can feel that in that, and that's all I think we were making fun of. But I appreciate your like sensitivity to the subject. That's good to be, you know, careful. We're
Yeah,
not trying to hurt feelings.
I started to feel bad is all, and I just wanted to say that I started to feel bad. I felt like we weren't intentionally making fun of this person, but like it could easily be construed as that person. Like that person was basically in the line of fire as well.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about that. So that was a regret I had. So I just wanted to talk about that.
It's worth saying. We're not here to hurt feelings.
No, I think it's
DrawBomb.
you know, we talk and we tell jokes here, and you know we're trying to be funny, and sometimes you know we make fun of things, and sometimes whenever you make fun of things, there's like a target, essentially, and you know I just don't want. I hate it when the target is you know somebody who. Not saying like that person again is who we were targeting, but you know they were in the crossfire essentially, and I don't like when that happens. So I wanted to say something about that.
Well,
That's my piece. I don't have anything additional to add.
I will say, I think we were, if I remember correctly, a lot of time, like multiple times while making fun of making that joke, we kept saying like, and if you want to change your name, like more power to you.
We did once I started realizing what we were doing.
well, I mean, that was, whether it seemed that way or not, that was kind of my opinion from the beginning. Yeah. Whether I made it clear or not. In the comments, we got some... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I know that you also, like, you're a pretty open-minded guy like I am. And, you know, if somebody wants to change their name, that's fine. Somebody wants to do this, somebody wants to do that. As long as it's not hurting anybody... We both, I think, agree that, like, fucking do it. Like, whatever makes you happy, as long as it's not hurting anybody. But yeah, but I did feel bad because I like had read about this person's struggles with changing their names, and God, I cannot get this fucking line.
I hope it doesn't sound like I'm trying to like hijack your apology. That's not what I'm going for either.
No, I'm not even strictly because like technically, maybe it is an apology. I don't know if it's an apology.
You're just saying you didn't mean any ill will by it.
I don't mean any ill will towards people who want to change their name to fucking Rivers. Whoever want to changes them. If you want to change your name to fucking like Queen, I don't give a shit. You want to change your name to Zoopy Doopy Dog, fucking go for it. I don't care. But I did feel bad, and I wanted to. Just wanted to say, that's all.
Fair.
Yeah. What are we gonna read in the comments?
First off, Mercury Tempest says, "How much would I have to donate to Ian to get him to shave on stream?"
Is that for me to decide? I'll let you decide that number. I feel like for me,
I can't decide what. How would I? In what world do I get to decide what?
Dude,
what the price to alter your face is.
If you want to draw this hot dog eating contest while I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's what I was watching this week, I'll do it. I don't care. Like, I don't know. Like, if you want to donate,
Mercury Tempest,
let's say
Tempest is going to regret having his. We're going to call his bluff.
We're going to call this whole episode just Regrets. That's what we're going to name this one. But fuck, if you give $5, I'll shave my face right on air. And,
there you go,
like,
folks.
Bleed and stuff for you.
Oh man, what are you bad at it?
A little. I don't know. I must be bad at it because you know I sometimes like especially like once my hair gets so unkempt, then like my razor just seems to be like, dude, this is what you fucking get.
Yeah. You pay for it.
Yeah.
Or your
so I do also want to say.
Razor might be old.
It is, well, I just changed razors before the last shave. Excuse me, sorry, hiccups. Ooh. How often are you supposed to like switch your razor out? Because
depends how often you shave.
Because I think I use a Schick 5-tro or whatever the fuck they called the shit.
The big shit.
Razors in them.
We got some
Big
people in the
shit.
chat. I gotta call them out real quick. Also,
Read these comments.
Z-Newt says, the only name you're allowed to make fun of is Jeff Bezos, because fuck that guy, and that is correct.
That is correct.
Under that, we got Dr. Soundcheck just rated us with a party of 1.
Woo! Party of 1. Good show.
Says, sup boys, coming in with my 1 main raid. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We really do appreciate it. Always very welcome to have people rate us with them views.
Dr. Soundcheck says shit quattro.
Shit Quattro, but that's 4. Mine has
That's
like
what I'm changing
5
my name
razors. To. Shit Quattro. That's actually not a bad name.
That's pretty cool.
Here's the thing though, like I honestly don't even hate the name Rivers Cuomo. It's got
No,
like a good
I never
ring
said
to
I
it.
hated it. I just.
But we made fun of it.
Yeah, I make fun of lots of things I don't hate.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I do too. I also want to say Dr. Soundcheck on Discord. He's changed his like you can put like a little description for yourself. I think.
Okay.
In Discord or something like that. But
Yes,
when I checked Dr. Soundcheck's Discord, like on our DM chat, like they've got Dr. Soundcheck, DrawBomb QA admin, and a PhD in checking sound, and I appreciated them. I appreciated them, including that they have been helping us get the DrawBomb Discord working just right, and also
thanks for the shout-outs.
we have shit. Yeah. So appreciate all the work you've done to keep this a professional operation, Dr. Soundcheck. Much appreciated.
Let us know if your check made its way to you in the mail, because we sent it a while back, so it should be getting there any time now. For your...
Any day now.
Just wait by the mailbox.
Oh, yeah, on your server now, that's my name. Oh, is that how it works? That's why it says AKA and it gives all the different names. Yes, indeed, it does say that. DrawBomb QA admin. That's funny. I enjoy that.
I guess that's like how I'm blending Blandon in the one Discord we're in.
That is, it does say AKA Blendon Blandon. I never noticed that before. Why did I not notice that?
Well, they added the AKA thing recently, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But you could still change your username, but now I think it does that so that you don't like get confused on who it is.
That makes sense. Because there are some people who they change their names per server, and I'm always just like, who? Or like on Steam, like the friends who change their like username every 2 days or something like that, and you're just like, who the fuck is like Spaghetti Sandwich right now? I don't know.
Who has the time?
Right. I keep the same name. I keep the same avatar for like 10 years at a time. And
wait a minute.
Like if you, what?
Wait 1 minute. Are you trying to give someone shit for changing their name, Ian?
Hey, no.
You won't make that mistake again.
A little bit. Hold on. But this is different. But I see what you did there. You got me. You zinged me.
I did the old twisteroo.
That's right. You did the
Tables
old.
Have been turned.
You turned those tables like a DJ. This is like that Jet song, "Roll Over DJ." You're spending away all my time.
Right, it's exactly like
hey,
that.
Who cares what you say? Just play what you play. I don't know the rest.
We are Rush. Thanks for coming to the show.
That's definitely what they say in Jet.
Yeah, they're a Rush cover band.
They are a Rush cover band. Cold Hard Bitch, Rush song. You just didn't realize it.
And Neil Peart.
R.I.P. Rip Torn in peace.
That's right.
Now here's the thing: if we're gonna make fun of anybody's like using a stage name, it should really be Rip Torn.
Yeah.
We both love Rip Torn.
Is that not his natural name? Is that not
his
not
name
Christian
is
name?
Rip Torn. Like he just chose 2 synonyms, and but like at the same time, that's so good.
It's memorable. It's amazing that he had a career after coming up with that, but not like to shit on it, but just like it's so
yeah,
weirdly specific.
It's such a choice, is
It
what it
is a
is,
choice.
though, really.
But it's also, it feels, it's either something he put a lot of thought into or something he put zero thought into. It's hard to tell.
It's hard. So I'm looking it up right now. His last name is legitimately Torn.
Okay.
So, like, he
That makes it a
kept
little
his
better.
last name. It makes it a little bit better. And he was just like, my last name's Torn. My fucking first name was Rip. I wonder if they actually have, like, an interview, like, how did you choose Rip? Name. The name Rip. The nickname Rip is a family tradition among men in the Torn family. So he took a tradition in his family. Like, it's like a thing his family was apparently doing. And then they went. And then they were like, he was just like, well, it's a nickname in my family. I'm a famous actor now, or I'm trying to be. So I don't know. That's cool. I get that. That's the thing. It's hard to make fun. Like, you can make fun of, like, Mr. T having, like, a fork and knife, like, necklace, but then, like, you read Mr. T's description of why he has, like, a fork and knife necklace, and, like, it's still kind of, like, it's still dumb looking jewelry. Like, it's still a fork and knife on your neck. Like, that's still kind of goofy, but when you read his, like, reasoning behind why he has that, you're kind of like, oh, that's sweet, though. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, you can make fun of shit and respect it, but at the same time, you only internally know that the thing you're making fun of is something that you're, like, not legitimately shitting all over. I don't know. It's making fun of things is a weird business, I guess.
It's a dangerous game.
A dangerous game.
I think
Now,
you can make fun of stuff, but you know, maybe do it in good fun. Don't be trying to actually, like, shit on people.
yeah, but I also think making fun of stuff to an audience, which is kind of what we do on this,
Yes.
ends up playing out differently because it also lacks some of the context, I think. It's weird. I don't know. Society, am I right? We all live in one.
You know, I get made fun of sometimes, and it hurts.
It hurts. I was made fun of all throughout high school. And
You have a rough-
then I got over it.
Not to dig into it, do you have a rough high school experience?
Honestly, no, my middle school was a lot tougher than high school, because, like, by high school, I had kind of, like, calmed down, and I was kind of friends with everybody in high school. I was just kind of like, yeah, like, I don't see the, like, my high school was, like, I don't know if this is how it is in, like, California high schools or, like, wherever, but, like, whenever you see movies, there's always, like, those cliques where it's just like, oh, the jocks don't hang out with the plastics, who don't hang out with, like, the geeks, who don't hang out with the band nerds, and they all hate each other and, like, secretly try and kill each other on, like, tractor poles or something. And it, like, that shit just seems so goofy because, like, in high school, like, there wasn't, like, there were definitely groups of friends that hung out and they liked each other obviously more than, like, other people, but then, like I hung out with the band kids plenty. I hung out with people who were on the football, our football team, like, the guys, like, the guy who was, like, the captain of the football team was, like, one of the nicest dudes I knew. So, and it was just interesting. So, like, no one was ever, like, making fun of anybody for just looking different or being, like, a geek or a jock nerd. Like, a lot of people, like, who were made fun of in high school were made fun of probably because they might have had, like, mental issues, honestly, if we were talking, if we're being straight about it. Like, but, like, you know, for acting just not, like, normal, I guess. It feels weird to say that. Like, if you did something shitty, you got made fun of in like, my high school, and probably also if you weren't white. I don't know. We didn't have, like, any not white kids in my high school except for maybe, like, one or two. Although that kid actually he was pretty popular too. I don't know. Point is, there didn't, like anytime you watch a movie, like, it's like cliques or, like, the big thing, and my school just didn't seem to have a lot of that. We all just, like, hung out. I mean,
your description of that took a dark turn. At first, you're like, everybody just basically got along unless you had mental issues or were not white.
well, the thing is, like, even not, like, the one black kid, and, like, the only black kid we knew in my school, like, he had friends, and, like, he was pretty like, everyone was kind of like, hey, I don't remember his name because we didn't hang out. We didn't run in the same circles, but, or we weren't even in the same grade, I don't think. But, like, basically, like, if you acted weird, you got made fun of in my high school, and everyone else just kind of got along because we were just kind of like, fuck, we're out of here in like 4 years, 3 years, 2 years,
Right.
1 year. But when I think about like all the kids who acted, strangely, a lot of them were like sort of dealing with like either undiagnosed or just like sort of like dealt with like mental issues.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I don't want to say that people who were made fun of in my school deserved it, because they most certainly didn't. Like, some kids were made fun of pretty brutally, and I felt bad. And maybe it's just because I wasn't like, like in a lot of like movies, you'll see like the kids in high school, they'll start fighting, and then everyone will gather around in a circle and be like, fucking murder each other.
Fight.
And like I wouldn't be in that crowd. Yeah, I wouldn't be in that crowd. Like, I would just be doing my own shit anyway, so maybe I wasn't there for a lot of like the horrible shit that was going on, or the fights or anything like that. So like my high school experience was very much just like I got along with everybody. We were all pretty cool with each other. If I did something stupid, I got made fun of for it, and I'd be like, yeah, that was fucking stupid. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
But that wasn't like obviously not the experience for everybody. So I don't want to say that was the case for everybody. So I don't know. So Z Newts, who is my brother, says, don't forget we come from an area with a lot of broken homes and some substance abuse. Like, all the weirdos in my class were because their mom and dad got busted for having a meth lab in the basement. There was a lot of that going on too. So it was interesting. It was interesting for me, at least, because of how uninteresting it was, because I was just kind of like, went to my classes, did my shit, went home, done.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine nowadays with like cyberbullying and shit like that. Like, fucking A, like, you get home from school and like you still gotta deal with shit. Like, that sounds terrible. Like, that's awful.
That's no bueno.
What about you? What was your high school experience like? Were you one of the jocks? Were you like beating kids up, shoving them in their lockers, booking kids?
No, I had a similar type of thing with like, I don't think our school was too cliquey. If it wasn't really something that I was
you didn't like come
affected
up
by.
A lot. Right.
I kind of hung out with a little bit of everybody. I think at that age, this is gonna sound like a humble brag. I don't mean it that way, but because believe me, I was super awkward and weird in a lot of ways, but not so much. Not so much in like the ways that I think a lot of people are trying to like prove something at that time. I wasn't doing that. I was weird, but so I think I kind of just got along with everybody because I wasn't really intimidated by anybody.
That makes sense. That sounds very sort of along the lines with what I dealt with.
So so I kind of just, it was pretty easy going for me, but yeah, I don't know. It was a really small school. Yeah, my school is, and like when you say your school is small, I'm like, my school is small, but your school is like smaller than mine. I'm almost certain. Yeah,
I think we compared
class
before.
was like 80 kids or something.
Yeah, that was like mine was 200, so like still like small in comparison to like schools in the city and shit like that. But like, you talk to some people and they're just like, oh, my graduating class was like 20,000 people. I only knew like the people who were in my like block or whatever, and it's just like, that's not what I dealt with.
Yeah, so that's crazy. But no, I don't know. For me, it was pretty fun. I got along with just about everybody, but
got along pretty well. I mean, I did have a couple kids who would make fun of me, and like, you would definitely get made fun of if people thought you were like gay in my high school. And like I remember I actually got like, and this is not me trying to sound like I'm like a good person or anything like that, but like I remember I got into a discussion with some people who were just like, yeah, gay marriage, definitely don't legalize it because like it's against the Bible. And I was just like, yeah, but like fucking like that's super inequality right then and there, because like anyone else can get married unless you're gay. Also, the Bible's not really real. So that's fucking stupid. And like people would,
it's a checkmate right there. How do you argue with that?
Don't know why that didn't make me more popular. But it's just like if I never fit any of the categories where you like would be sort of singled out to be excluded, I guess. So I had a sort of probably much rosier sort of experience than maybe a lot of people did. But I also knew like the kid who like not the kid because there was obviously multiple, but like I knew a kid who like I hung out with a kid who was gay in like high school, and he didn't seem to like get it too bad. Maybe that just wasn't while I was around. I don't know. Folks seem to just get along, and like if you weren't being like a shitty person, they were just kind of like whatever. I've dealt with worse, and then they moved on. I don't know if I.
When it comes
I
to
also
when
don't
we
remember
were
high school.
in high school, which would have been like how long ago now? Like
over 10 years.
Over 10 years. It was a little bit different then, and this is not by any means like a justifying it, or like some people will throw out the like it was a different time and like a way to
to be like I'm sorry
cover
I
their
had
tails.
slaves.
But no, I'm not saying that at all. Everybody should be accountable for their actions, but yeah, I think it was a lot harder to come out and stuff then. There was like our graduating class. I don't really keep up with everybody, but the ones that I do, like a number of them have come out since then, and now it's like totally fine. But like if you were, I think a high school age kids now, if you come out, it's pretty safe. Depending on where you grew up and
It's also interesting.
Not really that like big of a deal anymore. Or I mean, it might be in some places, but at least in the areas I grew up in, it wouldn't be that big a deal anymore.
How many people would you say you knew in school who were like out? Like yeah.
When I was in high school, maybe.
When you were in high school,
maybe one.
Okay. See, that's not too because like I knew.
And since then,
honestly, I knew
in that 80 like graduating class of like 80 kids. Now there's probably like
several more.
Closer to like 8 or 10.
Sure. Yeah. And it's been similar for me. Although I knew like at least 3, I want to say, kids who were like they made no secret about it, and like I don't know, like I got along with them. Like I had group projects with like one of those like kids who was just out and proud about it. But like I don't know, like we would make jokes, be like ha ha ha, you want to fuck me? You'd be like no I don't, and I'm like yeah you probably don't actually. So anyway, like what are you doing today? But like that obviously was not the actual joke we would make. That's terrible. That's not funny at all.
That's really.
But like,
come on, you can do better than that.
No, there's that like the jokes were better, but like I knew at least I want to say 3 kids who were like it was not a secret, they were out, and like they did not like again I'm not experiencing everything they experienced. Maybe on more individual occasions they did run into like some asshole kids who were like fucking being. But I mean. When I was hanging out with the people I hung out with for the most part in school, like we just were like, yeah, that kid, like fucking Dylan's gay. Like who cares? Like I'm happy that he's happy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And when I said like it was a different time, I wouldn't say I was one of the people that would have been like trouble for these people.
Sure.
I think honestly the people that would have been the bigger like hurdle with like the parents. You know, a lot of these kids that 100%. Didn't come out were scared of their parents. I was like a little rural farm town, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily the other kids that were gonna make it hard for them. It was just not as accepted by the other generations and stuff.
Sure. But yeah, it was. So it's interesting. I don't know. I can't say I even give like an accurate readout too, because like I was also very much a. Excuse me. God, hiccups. I was very much a. I just like sort of kept myself.
Yeah.
But you know, like I will say, like I wasn't perfect. I didn't have a great track record in high school, beginning of college. I loved using the F word, not to ever be like disparaging towards, you know, like that Louis C.K. bit where he's like talking about the F word and he's just like, I don't mean like, you know, to be mean to gay people. I just, you know, like obviously Louis C.K. not a great person to take your morality advice from.
True.
But you know, I sort of like had the same mindset that stand-up bit has. Obviously, that sort of mindset does not work, because no matter what, you can't sort of divorce the context from the slur, especially if you're like a person who is not called the slur. So you know, I've learned since then, like I don't use the F word anymore because I call it the F word. Because yeah, it's not a good word, but like in high school and in the beginning of college, I was just like, this is a fun word to say. F word, F word, F word, blah blah blah. So that sort of like sucks to think about, but
Yeah.
you know, in terms of like actually like being in the company of somebody who is gay, who is out, whatever, like fuck it, like as long as you're happy, like whatever I can do to make that happiness, or whatever I can do to like not get in the way of that happiness, like fuck it, I'm happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but so like yeah, like clicks, and I also want to like say like high school also. Speaking of like comparing real life high school to the movies, I feel like the movies make a bigger deal out of high school than it ended up being in real life. I mean, it also helps that I mostly moved the hell out of my hometown, except for now I'm back.
Some people look back at high school like it's the glory days, and
yeah, like
so I think that's for some of the people, I don't know, maybe movies. But movies play everything up, obviously. Like
movies play everything, because like
so
I was watching Gross Point Blank yesterday, which we talked about, but I did finish it. But we were watching I was watching Gross Point Blank yesterday, and that's like the movie is John Cusack is a hitman, and then he gets invited to his 10-year high school reunion, and then he goes back there, and like characters say with film actor John Cusack. That's right. Mercury Tempest was part of that, like this joke conversation we were having about John Cusack movies, which actually led to me choosing that movie to watch anyways. But I did really enjoy it. But like in the beginning of the movie, like so John Cusack dated Minnie Driver's character in Grosse Point Blank, and then he comes back to his hometown for the 10-year 10-year reunion of his high school. And then like Minnie Driver's character is like I guess you would still be mad, but like everyone is making such a big deal out of high school in that movie, because like Minnie Driver says like the most romantic experience of your young life and blah blah blah. Like she's still in love with him 10 years after high school. Like you're both 28. Like there's been so much that's and like like they also mention her character being married twice in that movie, and then she also still runs off with, like they don't ever show her husband. I can't tell if she's actually like married or if they were just like she was pulling his leg. I don't know, but that movie makes a huge deal out of high school, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, did I like grow up in a high school where we all just wanted to get the fuck away from each other, or I don't know what, but
you know, there's a oh shit, what's the director who makes all the high school movies in the 80s? What's this?
Oh, John Hughes.
Yeah, you know, there's that whole John Hughes kind of like mentality of that's like, I think there's certain things in film that kind of play high school up to be a bigger thing than it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big in some ways, but it all depends on the person. I think
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people kind of figure out who they are around that time. For me, I would say it was later in life. But
by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off. Just check your Discord real quick. I'm gonna send you a message.
Oh boy. In the meantime, I'll read some of the chat. We got
Please do. That's great.
Galanuva25 in the chat. Says, "Sup, homies? Sup? Welcome." Mercury Tempest says, "Have you seen Say Anything? John Cusack was a romantic tour de force in, I almost said Tour de France, in high school. You'd be in love with him too." Oh, and I am, you know. Who can help themselves? Let me look at that chat later.
I'm gonna read so you read all of what Mercury Tempest said, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna read. So we have Oh my God, why cannot Galanuva 25 in
Just
the
say
chat.
it.
They said subhumies, humans. You know. But they're in the chat. They're saying sup. Hello, thank you so much for coming back, Galanuva 25. Dr. Soundcheck, thank you for welcoming them. I appreciate you being a good welcome party. Mercury Tempest talking about John Cusack and Say Anything.
Dr.
you'd be in love
Soundcheck,
with
feel
him
free to
too.
add welcome party to your resume of.
That's MK. Oh, hey MK. Hi. I know them. I'm gonna check your chat. All right, I'm gonna respond to you. We'll get back to talking about John Cusack now, but I think that's fair.
The people
we'll get it sorted out.
are not psyched about us turning away from the topic of discussion, John Cusack.
Let's talk about John. Let's make this a John Cusack episode. What do you say?
I'm not going to commit
No,
to that.
we don't. Please, it's not.
He already has enough.
He's good. He's been in movies. He's fine.
Why do you think all the eating contests are hot dogs? It's just they're easy to eat a lot of them.
I don't know, there's also pie eating contests. You know,
That's
I think.
true. I've seen Stand By Me.
Do they do that in Stand By Me? Is that like
the one kid tells this like story about some kid that eats a bunch of pies at a pie eating contest and then like pukes. He's like the kid that everybody makes fun of for being like overweight. So then he goes to this contest and like eats all these pies and then purposely does it so that he just like pukes all over the entire crowd and gets revenge or something like that. I don't know. It's a weird movie.
That is a weird movie. That sounds very.
And then
that sounds like what a skinny
dead
person writes a fat person as in their script. You know.
The whole movie is about these kids going to see a dead body on a train track that they heard about. And you know, they learn a lot about themselves along the way.
That's what that's the thing is there needs to be that self-discovery, and then you can have the blank eating contest, and then it's no longer a food eating contest, it's a feelings eating contest.
If the movie Stand By Me is a feelings eating contest, they all won.
That's right.
They all grew.
They all ate their feelings.
It was like the Breakfast Club, except for detention. They were going to see a dead body.
Wait, did they see the dead body in or Say Anything is the movie where they see the dead body, right? That's
no, you're trying to do other things on the side. Not Say Anything. That's a John Cusack movie. Although there might be a dead body in Say Anything, maybe in the background or something. I don't know.
Say Anything is the boombox movie, right?
Yeah. In the scene where John Cusack is holding the boombox, if you look closely in the bushes, there's a corpse in the bushes behind him.
Is there really? Oh my gosh.
No. It's like they say you find things in the background.
They do a boombox eating contest, right?
Yes, they eat as many boomboxes as possible. It turns out nobody is able to eat one because it's not food.
It's not edible.
It's not a very exciting contest to watch. And then also the narrator of the entire man, I'm just like blanking on names. In Stand By Me, you're listening to this story through the eyes of the children, and it turns out the whole time the narrator was it's the guy from Jaws. Damn it!
Shit, what is that guy's name?
He's
the guy with the glasses, Bob? Right? Like the dude.
Jaws. What about Bob? Other stuff.
God.
Encounters of the Fifth Kind. What something?
I feel like I've known his name before.
Someone in the chat knows. They will help us.
In the chat. Roy Shader.
No.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes. There it is. There's Richard Dreyfuss at a typewriter all along.
Wait, are we talking about which movie now? Say Anything? The movie where Stephen King finds a dead body in Maine?
It's where some kids find the dead body of Stephen King near a boombox eating contest. And it's written by John Cusack.
So we're talking about the movie Say Anything as Long as You Stand By Me.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the movie. And then at the end, Macaulay Culkin gets stung by a lot of bees.
What movie's that? I was sort of following along with a lot of the other shit we were saying, but that one I am lost.
That's My Girl.
My girl, talking about.
Sorry to spoil My Girl for everybody in the audience who hasn't seen that movie from the 90s.
Dude, should we just spoil Grosse Point Blank? Like,
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? I actually do recommend watching Grosse Point Blank. It's a very fun movie. I did look, so like I told you that I enjoyed the interaction of the characters in that movie, and then I looked it up, and it's because it's all mostly improvised.
Really?
Apparently what they do is they have a script, and then this is like according to an interview with the director, so you know they could be embellishing somewhat, but they were like, we have the script, and that's more of an outline. We then have the actors and actresses like improvise what they actually say to make it feel more natural. And if that's what they did, it fucking works, because that movie is like super. It's got like fun, like the way the characters are, like, okay, so there's a scene where John Cusack has agreed to take Minnie Driver to the prom, or the 10-year high school reunion, much against like her sort of better judgment. And so then like he goes to her house the night before to make sure that she's cool with him taking her to the high school reunion. And she says, I'll let you do it if you airplane me. And then like he does like the airplane. But like it's funny. I don't know if that was scripted or not, but like the way the characters just sort of like, there's like a goofiness to the way the characters like talk with each other and like joke with each other that just feels a lot more natural than a lot of movies where they're just like, yes, we will go to the high school reunion together. I will see you there at 8 o'clock.
What movies are you watching?
Minnie Driver.
This is how people talk to each other.
I was watching iRobot, where all the robots were talking to each other.
I'm starting to see your problem now.
I'm watching too many movies with robots as all the characters. Yeah. I see.
That'll do it.
But no, it's there, and then like Minnie Driver like shoos John Cusack out of her house at the end of the scene so that she can like do whatever, and she's like doing this thing where she's like with her face, and like she's doing like this weird motion, but like it comes across as super real, because I could swear like I've been like sort of like lovingly shooed out of a house before like that. I hope it was, I know it was definitely loving, because I ended up dating that person, but you know, it just struck me as very real the way the characters interact with each other. And like there's these two NSA agents who were played by Mo Sizlak from The Simpsons, Hank Azaria, and a dude who I did not recognize, but they like have these conversations with each other that also are very like they're joking with each other, and like it just all comes across as very natural. And like I enjoyed watching characters just interact in the movie, because it felt like I was watching like actual people who were friends with each other interact.
I'll go watch this.
Highly recommend. It's on Hulu. That's how I watched it. It's good.
Did you see it before?
I will say, I had not seen it before. No,
Nice.
I was like, fuck, I'll watch a movie, and then I saw that John Cusack was. We had made a joke before. Our friend had come onto our Valheim server, and was like, guess what movie I watched? And we just started saying like, did it star John Cusack?
And
we just started naming.
He said no, and then we only guessed John Cusack movies for like an hour.
Yeah. And then like we started guessing Joan Cusack movies too, which by the way, Joan Cusack is in Grosse Point Blank.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. She's also in a shockingly large number of movies with toys in the title or in the main plot. Right. We found out.
That's right. We did talk about that.
Toys, too. And Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4, right. And the list goes on. And on.
There's so many. That's all of them, actually. Small Soldiers. I don't know. Is she in Small Soldiers?
Cusack's in that.
Okay. But yeah, so that's that conversation, that joking conversation of us just listing John Cusack movies, and my friend being like, no, the movie didn't star John Cusack, is what sort of got me to watching that movie. But highly recommend it. Check out Grosse Point Blank if you haven't. It's just a good movie. I don't know. I enjoy it. I mean, the ending, I will say, is a little too fairy tale for me. I don't know if that gives everything away. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
The ending just felt a little lacking. Like the ending, I was kind of just expecting something more substantial for an ending where like it involves a hitman. But the way it ends is the way it ends, and like it didn't ruin the movie, which is I guess what the most you can ask for out of an ending. But it also could have left me feeling a little bit more like I watched the movie I had watched.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
It makes some sense.
Yeah. The fight scenes in the movie are great, though. Actually, I was surprised by how good like the fight scenes are.
I was surprised that there are fight scenes. I mean, I guess I know he's a hitman, but he's out of high school.
Yeah, that's the thing is you don't expect there to be fight scenes, but then like when there are fight scenes, you sort of learn, like you learn like, oh yeah, John Cusack's character probably has murdered a lot of people. He's really good at fighting, this dude.
I would be okay with a movie about a hitman that doesn't involve him killing anyone. It's just.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, oh. Yeah, that's what I do, but I don't like to talk about work.
That's kind of the movie. You're describing Grosse Pointe Blank right now.
I'll have to watch it.
It's very funny too, because like he goes throughout the whole. I hope I'm not giving too much away about the movie when you're. I've already sold you on it.
No, but, I think you're good. I still feel like I know nothing besides the basic plot.
Okay,
and there's fighting in it.
There's fighting in it. It's very rare. It's like 2 scenes, and like it's. Anyways, but also like John Cusack's character like meets back up with like all of his old friends from high school and like their parents and stuff, and like they're just like, oh, what do you do nowadays? He's just like, I'm a professional killer, and they're just like, ah, it's a growth market, and they think he's joking, which is very funny because he's just very on board with telling them everything. Yeah, and no one believes him.
That's funny.
Yeah, good movie. I highly recommend it. But they do seriously like treat high school. It just like, yeah, it just makes them feel like they take high school very seriously in that movie, and it's just kind of like, nah, it's.
I probably picked John Cusack for that role because his entire career is built on movies where high school is like. He played Ferris Bueller basically like 30 times.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he's known for.
It's and like he kind of plays like he kind of does that role again, but like as the guy like 10 years removed from high school. So it's kind of like they picked him because of that exactly.
Same reason he was picked for like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Exactly. Yep. Well, especially because Hot Tub Time Machine is such an 80s throwback movie. Like they definitely picked him.
I don't know if
he is like an 80s throwback.
Is he in a snowboarding movie? I know he's in the boat movie, which is basically the
Are you talking about the Zach Galifianakis snowboarding movie?
No, but I'm saying like I think there's actually 80s snowboarding movies that all those movies are making fun of. I just can't think of any.
I know there's like an episode of It's Always Sunny that also makes fun of those kinds of movies. Like I know there's I wouldn't know. I don't know. I've actually not watched a lot of 80s movies to be 100% honest.
I watched a good share, but I haven't seen any snowboarding ones. But you know, what's the one we've talked about it before with John Cusack, because this is the John Cusack episode, and Bobcat Goldthwait, and they're like racing boats and stuff. And
Summer House or some shit like that.
It's a similar thing. Then I watched one like a year or two ago where it's called like The Sure Thing, and basically he's like has like this girl he's been talking to who's like, I'll sleep with you, and he's like, oh yeah, finally, and he travels across like the country to try to meet up with her. Things go a little haywire.
It's a road trip movie.
Yeah. Then he falls. Well, I shouldn't spoil it, right? Who cares?
Yeah, don't spoil it just in case somebody's. But speaking of which though, Mercury Tempest does say in the chat, 30-year rule. Wow, that sentence sounded weird coming out of my mouth. 30-year rule. No spoilers before the film is old enough to have a quarter-life crisis. So movies made June 1991 and earlier are good. Wait, no. Once I hit 30. Once I hit 30, I can just... Someone spoil my life for me once I hit 30. Somebody tell me how I die, please.
Hit by a bus.
Yes! Thank God. Oh my Jesus.
A lot of people feel like that's a basic way to go, but I like that you're excited about it.
Oh my God, compared to all the other ways that I've seen myself dying in my like dreams and shit, like that's a fucking relief.
Be embraced by that bus.
That's right. Hey, look, here's the thing. If I'm gonna go out in this world, I wanna go out with something that has a portable toilet. So that
So you're talking like that type of bus.
Oh yeah, what kind of bus? Like I guess I'm talking.
Not every bus has a
bus.
toilet.
Not every bus has a toilet, especially not like public transportation buses. I guess I'm thinking more charter bus.
I
Than...
say, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants. You only know about buses with toilets in them. Somebody's done well for themselves.
I want a bus where the seats have the same fabric as movie theater floors. You know?
Well, you're in luck because that's what they all have.
True, actually, they do all have that.
And then your teacher says, and bring some movies because this thing has movie screens. You get excited. It's one like 3x5 screen like at the very front of the bus, and like a VCR like up in one of the overhead compartments.
And for everyone to hear it, everyone has to be like dead quiet, or else like the movie just gets drowned out.
What were you gonna say? It's bullshit. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's some old shit. Nowadays, like, you're lucky if your car doesn't have a screen bigger than that, or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Mercury Tempest suggests that you're going to die choking to death at a hot dog eating contest.
I would also welcome that, because at least I died doing what I loved, and that is putting phallic objects in my mouth. What? Hold on.
You died like you lived. Xenute suggests that you're going to die from a gas oven turned on by your dog.
Well, I was kind of hoping I'd be shot by my dog.
Well, you like reverse old Yellard?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, there was a lady who got shot by her dog because like they left their gun around. The dog was just like.
I wonder what she did to piss that dog off so much.
Not give it treats.
Sounds like a crime of passion. Mercury Tempest says. Why am I laughing at this? This is horrible. Mercury Tempest says. Those darn dogs.
Don't you know we just talked about making fun of people in real life situations, Brandon?
You can't tell me someone was shot by their dog and I can't do it. I can't do it. Mercury Tempest says those darn dogs and their tendency to leave the oven on. Yeah, they're really forgetful.
Wait, didn't the dude in It's a Wonderful Life like stick his head in an oven? Or no, he was gonna jump off a bridge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They make a joke in The Simpsons. They make a joke in The Simpsons where Moe Szyslak for the Christmas episode pulls his like because like they were making jokes on The Simpsons for like 20 years where like Moe would try and like they've like legit had sequences where like Moe like I watched an episode of The Simpsons where Moe failed like they had a montage of Moe like failing suicide attempts.
Okay.
Which is I guess funny, but it's also like really dark.
Right. I like some dark humor. I can live with that.
I like some dark humor too. It was just like they were like showing him trying to commit suicide, and I feel like that's I don't know. That's weird.
Perhaps not the best avenue for comedy, but I mean, I just said you were gonna get hit by a bus a minute ago, so
yeah. And I said, "Yay!"
I don't know what kind of death is off limits. He's a cartoon.
The thing
character.
is, like everything. Every kind of humor is probably gonna make somebody feel bad, except unless it's like real, like.
Unless you're Jay Leno.
Unless you're Jay Leno, you're going.
That makes me feel bad, but just because I feel like I'm wasting my time viewing it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you hear about this? You hear about this? Did you hear about the Dodgers and how they gonna fucking eat the base? I don't know.
The only credit you can give to Jay Leno is it's got to be harder to write so many non-edgy jokes. It's easier to write an edgy joke.
Yeah.
Like
you can like write a joke, like if you like write a joke and you're just like, I shit all over my newborn daughter, and people would be like, that's wild.
Didn't see that comment.
Oh, But you know, if you like make a joke about some shit that's very inoffensive and you still manage to make people laugh, like that's impressive actually. Which Jay Leno never did. Don't get me wrong, but you can do that. Like fucking more power to you, man. I don't know.
Right.
Mercury
Tempest says, "Oh, go ahead."
No, I'll let you read it because I failed last time I tried to read a comment.
Says, "What's in those hot dogs?"
What's the deal?
I think it's lips and assholes. Is that right?
Yeah, I think. Well, if I remember correctly from Valheim, it's you kill a zombified Viking.
Yes.
You take their entrails and then
Correct.
you
make delicious sausage.
Yeah.
Do you need
So
their
these are
entrails
zombies.
just for the casings, or is that straight up just
I don't
zombie?
know. What else? Are there any other foods that go into? Because I actually haven't made any sausages of my own.
No, you actually do use raw meat from an animal.
Okay.
So maybe you just need those Viking zombie, for the sausage casings.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something.
Go
In
ahead.
regard, like you've cooked food before, right?
I have once or twice.
Thank God you're fucking 30. You should have by now. Anyways, but when have you cooked sausages like hot Italians, just regular, some bratwursts? Have you
Cooked
ever
sausage. I've never made sausage.
I never made a sausage personally.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if that's
like
the way you were going with it.
No.
Yes, I've cooked sausage many times.
Okay, so yeah, so like whenever I go to the store, like I get like a nice package of like hot Italians, because why else would you not get a hot Italian? And then I'll cook them up. But like whenever I cook them, how I prepare them, and this is gonna make people probably look at me weird, is I'll take the sausage and I'll actually like take them out of the casing, and like there's like that thin like layer, like the sausage condom,
Yeah, that's the casing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll take them out of the casing and then wash them under the water because I believe our good friend Matt once said on their podcast they used to run, where they were like basically complaining about working in a grocery store, was that like all food, like all the meat, like is in the dirt at some point, so you should wash all of your meat because otherwise you're eating like all sorts of like dirt and shit. But anyways. Take them out of the casing, wash them under the sink, and then I start like cooking them up in the pan or whatever.
I think people do that quite a bit. Depending on the kind of sausage you want to have.
So I guess when you cook sausage, do you personally take them out of the wrapper?
It depends what kind of sausage I'm trying to make. If I want it broken up like ground meat, then I'll take it out of the casing. If I want it actually in a sausage like form, then I don't.
Here's the thing,
sometimes I'll cook things that are like cut up sausage and I'll leave it in the sausage, and then other times I'll break it out of the casing if it depends what I'm trying to make.
Sure. Now, when I'll generally try and keep them in sausage. Like obviously, if you make a big, like a casserole or something like that, you want the sausage all broken up and stuff. But like,
yeah.
Even if I'm eating them in like sausage shape, like if you cook them outside, like if you take them out of the casing, like they've been in there long enough, they still hold their shape.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, sometimes I'll leave the casing on. Sometimes, depending on what I'm making.
You're so fucking gross. No, but yeah, I eat them with the casing. I don't know. I feel like I've told somebody that I take the casing off of the sausage, and then they gave me like huge stink eye. They were just like, "What the fuck?" No, the casing is part of the food.
It is part of the food, but you don't have to eat the whole food.
I'm not a fan of the casing. I don't want that shit.
Well, there you go. Let's ask the chat.
Yeah,
chat,
what do you do
do you
with
like
the casings,
those casings?
Let us know. I will say though, straight up taking those casings off is like holding a fucking condom that's full of like bloody meat bits. It's gross. It's terrible.
Bloody meat bits.
But it's bloody meat condom.
That's
my band name.
Yeah, how many times have you? We've all been there, holding the condom full of bloody meat bits. Z-Newts says he eats that casing. Yeah, that's one vote for casing. I also, I'm all about it. Why not?
Alright, so let's put a tally in the corner. Yes.
Why the hell not? Um, Mercury Tempest says, I always use protection when preparing my sausages. Good move.
Brief. Wait, I'm putting the wrong columns.
Play it safe.
So so far I'm outnumbered, but I'm not outgunned. Because y'all are eating a bunch of weird.
Watch out, your dog might steal it from you.
Oh no. Speaking of that joke I just made that literally nobody got, what's your favorite album title?
Oh my god. That's hard to say. I don't know.
What's an album title that you like?
Boy, you go first. I don't know why I'm struggling with this. I'm drawing blanks.
So the joke I was making was there's a Prodigy album called Always Outnumbered, Never Outgunned, which I thought was just like that's a good title.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that, and then that's why I segued into this very abruptly. Your turn.
Oh no. Hey chat, what's some of your favorite album titles?
Oh boy.
I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
Another good album title. Well, here's the thing. I feel like album titles, you can really call them anything.
Yes.
And you'll just be like, whatever. That's the fucking like. It's really more on a scale. No, that doesn't work that way. Do you feel like album title or album cover is more important?
I will say, it's. I could say both for both reasons, but I think you hear the title more, but
you do hear the title.
If it were in the past, I would maybe argue the album cover more because people were actually going to physical stores to pick up their music, and you had to sell your stuff that way. I don't know. Maybe nowadays the title, maybe in the past the art.
Okay. I mean, when you go on Spotify, you still see.
True, but you're not paying individually for songs.
No,
Back in the day, it's short of the radio. Like if you were picking up music, you were shopping. Like something caught your eye.
Yeah, but I would say I still look at the album cover, and that mostly affects. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but we can both agree that that's fucking bullshit, right? Like,
right.
If the book has a dumb cover, it's probably not going to be your vibe. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I agree with that. And everyone judges books by covers. They just know you're not supposed to. Yeah. And then occasionally you're like, I should have given it more of a chance once you hear it and you're like, oh, this is actually really good. But you still make the mistake.
Because, the thing is also, it's interesting because, you don't know how much input the author or artist or whatever has into the actual book cover. But at the same time, you get the sense that generally the vibe of the book and the vibe of the cover usually works. I feel like if you're an author, do they even print books anymore? I don't know. But I feel like if you're the author of a book and your editor is just like, here's the book cover, and you fucking hate it, I feel like you get to be like, no.
You should, unless you made some bad deals or something. I would imagine you get some creative control with that.
Yeah. Maybe you get to send them a short list of artists that you want to make the cover because you're like, this artist knows what I like.
Right. I don't know. I haven't written any books.
I haven't written any books. I feel like what would help knowing is if I was successful at all, and then I would probably have a better view in these sorts of processes. But as it stands, I watched Gross Point Blank yesterday.
That doesn't make you not a success because you watched a movie.
Well, because I watched it in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning, and was like, I got nowhere to go today. I'll watch a John Cusack movie because of a joke we made yesterday. I don't know. Welcome to the Self-Loathing Corner. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I think a lot of creatives tend to stay up late.
I think you're right though, because, well, do you prefer working during the day or working like in the dead of night? Like, what's your preference?
You know, I would say both, but the dead of night is nice because there's no distractions. And I'm more productive
my
then.
agreement.
More
I agree, because like during the day, people are just like, hey, you should go to the store because you have like this errand to run, or
right.
Somebody could call, and you're like, fuck, no, I got it. But like if you're like, you can work for like 6 hours straight if it's like 11 p.m. to 4 in the morning, and like, I mean,
right.
if you can do that, first of all, hats off to you. Like, holy shit. But yeah, I feel like there's just a lot less sort of able to pull you away from getting the work done.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you're in the zone, there's literally nothing that will really pull you away.
Unless your friends are like, we're trying to transport a bunch of iron in Valheim and we need a rescue party. Then it's...
I feel attacked all of a sudden.
Oh no. See, when you make fun of people or
it
things,
hurts.
Somebody's in the crossfire.
I feel terrible
That's really
now.
What we're trying to get to.
Oh god.
Sorry. I did have a lot of
that
fun
happened
Valheim
yesterday.
last night, though. Yeah, that's working on some art, and then you told me about the rescue mission. And honestly, though, I did have a lot of fun playing Valheim, so I can't fucking complain.
You know, you need breaks too. That's true. That's the one. But you could have turned off all your social media stuff. That too. Yeah. That too.
I do sometimes do that if I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, me too. If I
don't
really
even
need
want the
to
temptation.
like, if I'm like, I got a deadline, so I'm gonna finish this up tonight. I'll turn everything off.
Yeah. Do you ever get worried, like when you do that, that like somebody's gonna think you're avoiding them?
No, because how would they know you're even there?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes, because like, here's the thing. Sometimes I'll say goodnight to people on Discord, like if I'm talking with them, and I'll be like, all right, they're like, I'm going to bed, and I'm like, yeah, me too. And then I'm like on the computer for like another hour and a half because I'm just like, oh, but I have to like do these things, and I'm still like logged into Discord.
I think you're overthinking it. I mean, I guess there could be people that are like weird and not maybe weird's not. People are like, I don't know, clingy in a weird way, but like who's mad at somebody for being like, I gotta go, and then be like, what? They're still here. Like who cares? Like,
I guess
you can go. Quit playing video games and do whatever you want to do anytime.
I guess that's what I'm really trying to get to is I'm always overthinking.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think anybody's upset.
People changing names, and I'm like, oh god, I'm being real dick right now, and then like
plus,
I don't log off of Discord after.
Plus, with like Discord and all these services, like you're on, even when you're on your phone, it says you're on. So like, yeah, there's a lot of times I'm like bye, and then I'm like staring at my phone for another hour, like in bed. I'm not.
You're avoiding me?
Yes.
I knew it. Fucking knew it.
God. DrawBomb is canceled.
Knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Actually.
How fun would that have been if you just... Oh, his headphones are on.
Actually, I did set something up for exactly this sort of situation. Are you ready for this one? You know it's coming up.
How fun would that have been if you just never came back?
Right? Like that was the end of the show.
I wouldn't even be upset. I'd be like, he committed to that bit.
Like if we ever do decide like that we should stop doing this show, we should pretend like we had a big fight.
Yeah.
And then just like that's the last episode as we end with us having a fight. Yeah, the band's broken up. We just can't. We're gonna have to wait till the VH1 behind the music for us to get back together. Mercury Tempest knows what I'm gonna do.
You need to wait for a good cue, don't you?
We just blew past it. Like we had one.
Yeah.
And then
you chose to storm off.
Decided to talk it out. Yeah.
Here we can recreate something similar. Hey Ian.
Yeah.
Every night when I say I gotta go, I actually just hang out with my real friends. There it is. Some music overlapping probably, but I think the effect is well received.
Oh. So, I spent so long getting that set up in OBS.
Did that for D&D, correct?
Well, I did it during D&D, but nobody in D&D like wants it to happen.
I have some things like that in my games too. I use the soundboard occasionally, and
Nice.
people tend to ignore the fact that I'm doing it.
I'm not slick enough, so like anytime I'm like loading up a sound for this, like, cause like I've learned that I can transmit my iTunes and stuff. Actually, at some point we could use the same sort of setup for you to transmit the theme song, so that we can actually, like, we can both hear it. We would have to talk.
True.
That's some behind the curtain sort of stuff. Anyways, but anytime I'm like, oh, I'm loading up a funny sound for me to play in a situation, usually like I'm not slick enough to be like ready. I have to be like, hold on. I got something for this.
Yeah,
Hold
that
on.
doesn't.
I got something for this. Hold on.
You kind of lose the comedic timing in that.
It does a little bit. Anyways. But yeah, I was setting those up in D&D, but I don't think they want those happening a whole lot because it's very distracting, and also the joke is only really funny the first time, and then it's kind of like...
You gotta hold on to it until especially like good moments where it's deserved.
Exactly.
And then the people will respect you.
Absolutely. You both play D&D, class and race for your characters. Oh boy. You go first, Brandon.
I am a barbarian Goliath named Branthor. Branthor Stonefist. I was raised by wolves, and you know, pretty chill guy.
Pretty chilled barbarian.
Yeah, and, you know, as much as one can be.
Yeah.
How about you?
Which is so God, I'm in so many fucking D&D campaigns.
Right. Well,
pick
one or two.
I'll just go down the list. I don't know.
Sure.
And the one, so like I first started playing D&D as a character. He was a half-elf ranger named Desmond. He's basically fucking Nathan Drake from Uncharted as a D&D character, because he's like a dickhead adventurer treasure hunter guy.
Are you playing this character currently?
You know, I was when I was meeting up with... I was playing as this character when I was doing like D&D meetups in person, because like I could sort of like, no one, like people would just be like, oh, I'm running a D&D campaign, come by if people want to join, and then I would answer and be like, yeah, I like playing D&D. But now I've been like sought out for D&D campaigns with like specific things in mind, so I've considered playing that character, but then I'm kind of like, oh, but I already play a campaign with this person as Desmond, so I've been picking like new characters to play as lately, because usually they want me to be, I mean, they've offered, yeah, I want to do something new, but like they have been like, I'd be cool with Desmond being like the character. He is like sort of an NPC in this campaign I've been running off and on since like the beginning of last year. So he makes an appearance from now and then. If I'm joining like a D&D game and it's not like a big, like we don't have plans for like a big overarching plot right then and there, I'll usually whip him out and play as him, because I've got the character sheet already built out. He's kind of like, it's like he's me with a more boisterous personality. For my one friend's Wild Mount campaign, which is based on the universe created by like the Critical Role people, I have a character named Father Dutch, who I based on Daniel Craig's character from Knives Out. Same voice, same everything. He's like a cleric. Yeah, exactly. I've kind of like developed his own sort of unique voice since then, but he's definitely started out as me doing Daniel Craig from Knives Out. And then I've got a character for a friend's campaign. He's just a warlock. He's just kind of like a misanthropic warlock. It's just basically my voice. And then for this new D&D show I'm working on with friends, where I did sort of set that up, and I also set up like a text box, so anytime I want, I can just throw up numbers on my screen so that like you know, people can, like the DM and people can see like what I rolled and stuff like that. Like I got that set up too.
Okay.
There I'm playing I mostly play humans because like I don't know, I find them more interesting races to play as than like elf that lives forever. It's just kind of like, I don't know, humans I can sort of more
You can relate to them.
relate to, yeah. But he's gonna be human. He's a rogue, but he's basically a rogue subclass that is like a fucking private detective. And his name is Jack Hardname. And
I haven't heard the name. That's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jack Hardname is his name, because I was like, yeah, noir detectives, they always have like a real manly sounding name. So I was just like, well, that's about as close to it as you can get. But he's basically like Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca, but as a D&D character. So
love it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other characters I've played in the past. I played Hank Diamond. That was originally a D&D character.
Interesting. Okay.
He was a dwarf, and he was a detective. It was kind of like, it wasn't really the noir thing, but it took some definite, like, his wife died, and now he's like an alcoholic, and he's like detective, and you know, it's got some of those themes.
Sure, absolutely.
But,
the classics. That's fun though. I mean, you've been Branthor in a DrawBomb D&D session. Like we used to.
Oh yeah.
When I say we used to.
It's a go-to name for me in fantasy games.
Especially as a barbarian class.
Yeah.
But we did play a session of D&D on an episode of DrawBomb way back when this was differently set up.
We should do that again.
We should actually. We had Matt on as the DM, and I don't know if he was like he was gonna work on like backgrounds and stuff to like sort of.
He's a busy man.
Prepare.
I should see if he's still interested. If not, I should talk to. Coincidentally, Matt plays in our DM or our Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Oh, nice.
He
the thing is like. Sorry, go ahead.
He plays as Bookie the Bookkeeper, which is he's a dwarf who carries around this demonic book that talks to him, and he's like a snake oil salesman.
That's fun.
And
I like that.
Pretty good. It's a good character.
The thing is, like, Matt said before, like, he was getting backgrounds, like, drawn out ahead of time to, like, really amp up the production value of playing D&D with us on this show. But he doesn't need to. Like, if he wants to, like, come on and, like... Because, like, the thing we ran the first time, which ended up going so well, was, like, just completely improvised, and that was a shit ton of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
So if he ever wants to do that again, like, he can totally just, like, come in and, like, fucking bullshit a whole campaign for us.
I'll see if he'd be interested. If he's not, I can also talk to the guy who does DM our campaign right now. He might enjoy it too. He's also an artist.
Fantastic. He's in our Discord?
No, I said he's also an artist.
Oh, even better.
So he'd probably get into it as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. My question is, if we ever do the D&D thing or the DrawBomb, is that the sort of thing where we should have just us as the players like we did that first time, which worked out well, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that could also benefit from maybe like an extra guest or two as players.
It's true. It's very true. We should, I liked kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but also we should maybe, if we do it again, maybe figure out a few, like, ways to make it you know, some kind of how it's going to work and stuff like that, and that might make it go a little smoother and allow for us to continue a campaign.
That works for me.
But yeah, I'm down for that. But yeah, maybe some more people will be good. We have plenty of friends who'd be willing, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we have like
maybe we could do like yeah, it was great. Sorry, I keep cutting you off this week.
No, it's fucking the lag. Like if when
I
we
just
were
want
doing
to
this
talk
in
when you
person that
talk.
one time, I know. Well, the thing is, there's like a normal level of time where you're like, this person hasn't talked for a while. I feel like if I start talking, I'm not gonna cut them off. But that's like the same timing that we both experience. So then we both start talking. But then also Discord means that we start cut, so we can't be like, oh, they're about to talk because I can see their face. It just the internet is always gonna make it.
It's the damn internet.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, maybe we should talk to somebody who would be interested. We have multiple people who DM as well that might be down, and we can figure out a way to do it. Maybe we could do it like once a month on the show, like 1 out of 4 episodes or something.
That'd be fun. I mean, it was like such a genuinely fun time doing it that first time. For those who were not there for it, which is I think everybody in the chat right now, I was Schmizzard the Wizard, who was a wizard from Schmel, which was the that world's version of Hell, and then you were Branthor the Barbarian, and then we went to cross a bridge where a dude, like a giant, was like, before you can cross this bridge, you gotta answer my riddle.
I don't remember this. I remember aspects, but I don't remember that part. Anyways.
Oh yeah, like the giant like wouldn't let us cross the bridge unless we answered their riddle, and it's like, me going hard, me come out soft. What am I? And then we were like, that's a dick. And then he's like, it's gum. And then we went to a bar where there was a fish bartender.
Yes, I remember that.
And then we accidentally killed the fish bartender by getting gum shoved up its gills, which was based on a bad roll. And then we had to run back, and like the person who had given us the quest turned into a giant monster because we'd killed the fish that was supposed to give us the thing that we were supposed to get. So it was just chaos and a lot of fun, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was great. We got Leviathan Den in the chat. Welcome.
Yo!
Welcome.
What's up? Thank you for joining in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we should do that again. We should get in some talks with some people who might be down, and yeah,
definitely,
it'd be good. It'd be fun. All right, I'm gonna save this drawing unless you want to add more to it.
I can't think of anything I want to add to this hot dog eating contest.
It's over. It's all over.
All over. I like how the dog and the person like crouched underneath the table are both like vying for the same hot dog.
Yeah.
Yes, finally.
Who will win, man or beast?
It's always the dog is gonna. I mean, the man has opposable thumbs, but the dog wants it more. I can genuinely say. And the dog doesn't even know that it's full.
He doesn't know. I should also mention, I don't believe this happened during the episode. It might have happened right after, or maybe it didn't. I don't remember. But it says a week ago, so maybe it was during the episode, but I don't remember. A person named Soap Brunch followed us.
Soap
you know
Brunch?
Soap Brunch?
Can't say that I do.
Oh, a genuine stranger. Well, thanks for joining the party, Soap Brunch.
Soap Brunch. I mean, it could be. I have theories. Whenever we have a person who starts following us, I have theories as to who it is that I know. And then sometimes it's just a rando who decided that they liked what we had to offer, and I'm always like very appreciative of both.
Yes. I like that. That's like the least likely scenario to us. We're like, no, it couldn't possibly just be somebody who likes the show.
We don't have a fan base outside of like our very nice and supportive friends. Kidding me?
All right.
Oh boy, now this is the part that I always struggle with.
Your favorite part of the show.
We have like 30 minutes to kill.
That's right.
And Draw shit. Do you want to do a rock paper pencil?
You can if you'd like. I can also be more decisive than that if you'd like, but you have to decide if I should be.
Oh my god. Does anyone in the chat have a theme they want to do for rock paper pencil?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
Okay. I'm gonna blow my nose for a prolonged period of time. Boy, wasn't that a thrilling 15 seconds. I see some things in the chat. I do have a theme. I'm gonna let Brandon. I'm gonna force Brandon to be decisive, and I'm gonna have him choose a theme because Xenoots in the chat has offered a theme. I have a theme in my head that I wouldn't mind hearing, drawing or whatever as well, but I will let them decide. So that's what's gonna happen. You're listening to another episode of DrawBomb Live, where we so far we have expressed regret over pretty much our whole lives, or at least I have. Regret over things we've done recently, things we've done as early as 5 minutes ago. I'm actually going to combine what Xenoots wrote in the chat with my suggestion, because I feel like a critical failure is a good theme, but it really does leave a lot of sort of, you know, it could be anything. It could be like a critical failure in financing. It could be a critical failure in the dating scene. That's sort of like the extra step I want, is like critical failure in what? And I have an idea in mind, and it's gonna be based on like everything we talked about today. It's always nicer when the theme kind of fits what we've talked about, but I will talk too. I know we wanted broad strokes, but sometimes the strokes are too broad. It helps to refine. So we like to go broad, work our way in. It's like working from a thumbnail, which is artists speak for, having like a little tiny drawing. Oh my god, we just got gifted some subs.
Oh, Leviathan Den,
What?
thank you.
Thank you so much. You gifted a sub to TLV 2020. I hope that's somebody in the chat. I don't know. I don't recognize that username. Go to their Twitch profile and stalk them.
Who is this person?
Who are they?
And they subscribed as well. God bless you. God bless you. Dude, what do we get for suggestions?
So we have one. Xenoots recommended critical failure.
Ooh, I like
which
that.
I think is actually a very good. I like that too. But I was thinking like we could refine that a little bit more. Let me know if you agree with this. But we could do a critical failure regarding like high school like reunions, like a high school reunion critical failure, or unless you want to just do a critical failure. What do you feel?
Let's leave it vague. Let's leave it vague.
Let's leave it vague. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna make me decide something? Oh. Also, I should mention Leviathan Den subscribed for 3 months. That's awesome.
Oh my
Thank you
goodness
so
gracious.
much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We should probably draw something
Yeah,
that they
if you
want
do,
us to draw
if you have a
something.
suggestion, we'll do that. Otherwise, we'll do the critical fail thing.
I am actually working on a picture for Leviathan Den. I need to finish it. I had some deadlines to finish up though, and I'm finishing those up this week, and then I'll be able to.
They see that you're hard at work right now.
So hard at work, as you can see, because I'm talking about video games, and we played Valheim last night, and blah blah blah. So busy. No, I do have that drawing. I will finish it for you. I promise. Let's do a rock paper pencil critical failures.
Sure, we'll start setting up for that, and if Leviathan Den has any suggestions before we get to started, we can do that instead.
All right. We should just like have.
I know we've said this.
Like,
have
yeah,
a
we
template
have said
ready.
this a lot, haven't we? Yeah.
Maybe one day.
There's sort of a unique quality to us having to draw each individual layout every episode.
Doesn't mean I like it.
No, I don't. I hate it.
Leviathan Den says, just chill and draw whatever you're feeling. So we'll do the critical.
Oh, thank you. So nice of you to subscribe and say, you know, just do whatever. Don't even worry about me. That is very nice of you. We do appreciate. We appreciate all the support people have given us over the last slightly over a year that we've been doing this this show.
Is that all it's been?
It's. I mean, well, what we're on episode 61.
Right.
52 weeks is.
We haven't done
a year.
52 like concurrently though. There's like
No, we
hiatuses,
missed a couple.
weeks off here and there. But I guess generally speaking, we've done about a year's worth of shows, slightly more.
Just about, yeah. I mean, so like what? We started this when I was living on my friend's couch. That was the July-August sort of range of months. So, you know, July-ish, August-ish, that's about when we started doing this.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and thanks, especially like the last few weeks, the chat has been very like involved, which I appreciate because that's my favorite part.
It's a lot easier to do this knowing that anybody at all is watching.
It's true. It's true. It's like hanging out with a bunch of friends.
Exactly, which kind of is because we do also, I think, know most of the people in the chat or all of them.
But you know, if
not that makes you any.
If you're
less
lurking and
viewers,
you're a stranger, don't be afraid. You can be our newest friend.
Yeah, well, we won't make fun of you much, at all. No, because or if we do make fun of you, I'll feel bad about it and then apologize.
We won't make fun of you much at all. The next episode. And if we do, you'll receive an apology next episode. So hey, free shout out.
I think it's I think that's a pretty solid tagline right there. We won't apologize to you. Wait.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
Find it.
Mercury Tempest says only goes up from here. Hashtag to the moon. Speaking of hashtags,
you have something to say about hashtags?
No, I was just gonna say let's get some lips in the chat. You know, like,
it's time for lips in the chat.
Type out some lips in the motherfucking chat if you like DrawBomb. Lips in the chat. I'm gonna start finishing up this layout right here. Thank you so much, everybody, seriously, for sticking with us while I express regret over everything I've ever done in my entire life. And Brandon's just kind of like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I literally was like, not much. No, I have regrets, but you know.
I don't think you probably don't lie awake at night obsessing over all of them or anything like that.
No, occasionally it happens. I think everyone does sometimes, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'd have to be a real jerk to not at least sometimes think of.
You have to be a real jerk to not have like
a life
anxiety issues that keep you awake at night.
Yeah.
Only assholes are sure of themselves.
Exactly. That's the official DrawBomb stance. Are you self-confident, assured, and fairly confident you haven't done anything terrible to anybody in your life? You prick.
We hate you.
You monster. I'm gonna write the theme over here.
I mean, when you're done writing the word theme, I can save this. We can use this again.
That's actually a great idea. Not our best version of this layout. That fucking.
Well, let's make a better one
pencil.
then.
Yeah, I have so much regret over this current layout.
Oh my gosh, the theme. I'm gonna title this episode "Ragrets."
That you can title like Ragrets or.
I was going to.
Okay, good. I'm glad. See, isn't it so much easier to come up with the episode title at the end of it?
I'm just gonna do that from now on. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it works. It's kind of it works as.
I regret that you stole the joke that I was going to make by typing it out. That's what I regret.
I do that a lot, don't I?
You know, we have a similar like ideas as far as jokes go. And
True.
sometimes we race each other to be the first one to say them.
Yeah, I think generally you're just like, I'll wait for the right moment to say this very funny joke, and then I'll just like think it, and I'll be like, what is the fucking regrets?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Alright.
Yeah.
So, theme, critical fail.
Fail. Okay. Let's get some space between. There we go. Existential dread is a hell of a drug. It is absolutely true, Leviathan. Den. Yeah, that is. I take a nice hit of it every single day. I would say, like a nice microdose existential dread. Boom. Actually, that might be an episode title right there. Is microdosing existential dread, but Ragrets is fine too. Nah, it's okay. Once we get like a title down, we should just stick with what we first put down, or else we're gonna spend like the rest of the episode being like,
yeah.
Oh, what's
I got your layers hidden.
I'm gonna do that right now. Okay. Critical fail.
Mercury Tempest, you asked us our D&D characters. Do you have any? Do you play at all? Or does anybody else in the chat have any characters they'd like to tell us about? That would have been a good idea. Have everybody like drop their D&D characters, then we draw like quick little versions of them. Well, maybe a future episode.
Yeah. Well, like when we do like a D&D episode or something like that, or we're announcing the upcoming D&D episode or something like that. I also just want to say, I know I spelt fail wrong. I did that on purpose. That's a joke. So I don't want to hear anyone talk about it.
I was just about to give you shit, but thankfully,
I would have felt bad and you would have regretted it.
Yep. And then I would have brought it up next week.
At the beginning of the episode, and apologized for it. Critical failure. Shit.
I'm gonna be. I think. Actually, I don't know. I don't want to give away what I'm drawing. Mercury Tempest says, I played a highly perceptive blind monk who fought using smell. Most recently DM'd a campaign for some friends. So you kind of played like nice. Daredevil. Like, I mean, I guess this was smell, but I like the highly perceptive blind. That's a cool character. Zenut says, Barn Sugarfoot, fighter skeleton. Basically me with dementia. That's cool. I like when people pick, and I guess you have to have a DM who's like cool with it too, but I like people who pick some weird characters from like the basic like 6 races. Like, I'm gonna be a skeleton.
I'm actually the DM of that campaign that he is that character. So when he first wanted to be a skeleton, I told him that like, hey, just as a heads up, skeletons are not supposed to be walking around. I'll let you play as the skeleton, but you have to keep yourself concealed, otherwise people are going to get freaked out. Which I ended up finding out was a gameplay mechanic in Divinity 2 Original Sin, so I felt like cool that I had like done a legit DM thing. But cool. Then Zach followed that up by just having his character like show there's like they went to a fighting ring, and then his character like pulled off his shirt, revealing like a whole shit ton of bones and stuff. And then, like, my dude kicked him out of the fighting ring because he's a skeleton. And he's like, that's so mean. Why are you doing this? And I'm just like, I told you this would happen. I said you had to keep yourself concealed. Like,
a classic brothers quarrel.
Always. Yeah, we're always fighting. Nah, okay, we get along very well. Fail also means house or building in the architecture of Samoa, like a simple hut. I did not know that, but that's fun to know. I'm gonna Google that and not draw my drawing. Wow, that's cool that's what that's called. I like those. They're fun. Yeah, folks, look in the chat. Look up fails like the way I spelled them. They look like a blast. It's like basically a beach pagoda. Oh, no, not a pagoda. What's the other one? Gazebo?
Beach gazebo. Wow.
Beach gazebo. Yeah,
my
it
two
feels
favorite
kind of like a
things
beach
combined.
gazebo.
My two favorite things in life combined into one.
The beach
Beaches and
gazebo.
gazebos.
Gabicho. Gazebeach. Fushiki.
Fail.
Fail. So, Mercury Tempest says Divinity 2, The Mask of Many Faces. That is actually in Divinity 2, my character that I have in a campaign with some friends, my character is a dwarf skeleton. Which is funny because the game is just like, if you're not wearing shit, like, people will run away and freak out. So, like, but also you can wear, like, a beanie, which is, like, you can still see the skull face, but, like, you have a little hat on top, and the game still counts that as, like, being concealed. So it's kind of funny. It's cool that it works, but it's also kind of goofy. But, it's a fun game. That is a very frustrating game to play with people, though, because, like, I play it with Austin and Kyle.
Are you still playing that?
And what was that?
Are you still playing?
We haven't touched it in like a couple months, but I want to get back into it. But like we'll frequently like be like, we should go north. No, we should go west. I'm already fighting dudes over here. It's like, ah, shit. It's a lot of fun though.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Zenith says I was in character and like fair. But also, your dude is a skeleton. That's all.
Struggling to draw this thing that I'm trying to draw.
Did I draw? Jesus. Shit, I had an idea just now, but I can't draw it because Twitch would ban me.
Just do it. If it's somebody shitting, I don't believe that will actually get us banned.
Alright. If we get banned, it's both of our faults, though. What was that?
It can just be my fault. Like, I just straight up told you to do it when you said you weren't going to. But I don't believe that our drawings are... Our drawings are too stupid to actually get us banned for some pooping. Like, they're like... Maybe if you could like do a photorealistic drawing of a man shitting, that I could see that grounds.
I do, yeah. I kind of wonder where is the cutoff. Cause it's like I don't know. Some like shit. Everybody poops. I don't know. It's
right. Why is that the big deal?
It seems very arbitrary. Like, I get it if you don't want somebody fucking dropping trout on camera and just, like, laying out a freshly coiled foul snake, but, like, like what we had drawn when we were told that, like, that's not going with Twitch's TOS. Like, we were drawing, like, dumb, like, little disembodied butts, like, hanging off, going, like...
Yeah,
like it,
stupid.
I don't think even like a 5-year-old child would be offended by that.
Nope. Probably not.
But at the same time, I don't want to risk it all the time, you know.
You can tell Jeff Bezos to go fuck himself, but...
Yeah, fuck yourself, Jeff Bezos.
Not gonna draw
you bald motherfucker.
Pooping.
Just draw like Jeff Bezos pooping.
On himself. Yeah, it's probably what he likes.
Yeah.
Not to king shame Jeff Bezos.
Not to king shame, but if you own billions of dollars, you probably like to eat poop.
Yeah.
Just saying. Especially if your first name starts with a J and your last name starts with a B and ends with an Ezos or Azos or how the fuck you say his name? Jeff Bezos. Jeff Basil.
Jeffrey Basil.
I'm
on Amazon.
Do you want to buy anything from me? I will sell it to you. I make my workers piss in bottles.
Deodorant? You got it. Power strip?
I'm a real...
Sure.
I'm a real piece of shit. That's about the short and long of it.
Side note, you can order pieces of shit from Amazon, probably.
But don't let us see it.
Yeah, don't. Ew, it's a personal preference. I hate poop. Yuck.
But put it in my mouth. Put it in my mouth. My name's Jeff Basil, and I like to be pooped in my mouth.
Wow.
Now, this is the worst blank, and I don't want to give it away, but this is the worst one of these I've ever drawn. Jesus.
Buttholes?
No, I would never do a bad drawing of a butthole.
No, you've had far too much practice.
Too much practice. Also, it's like, if you aren't able to draw a good butthole, like, what are you even doing with your life?
Yeah, it's like you've obviously not spent enough time looking at your own butthole in the mirror.
Don't you have a cat? Those motherfuckers will show you what an asshole looks like all day.
Even if you don't want them to.
Nope.
Hopefully you always don't want them to, or else I have questions for you.
Yeah, I'm always like, put your damn tail down. I don't want to see that. I'm just trying to pet you.
Mercury Tempest says you can buy novelty poop on Amazon. I just looked it up.
Oh my god.
You
So
get
they're
banned
hypocrites.
from Amazon.
Amazon is banned from itself.
You've been fired as a customer. You can no longer order anything. It was a test and you failed.
Yeah. Your account is being locked out. Your Amazon Prime money is not being refunded because they don't do that. And a SWAT team is headed to your house right now. This is actually going to look pretty gross when I'm drawing.
Oh no. I never should have egged you on.
Sorry, everybody. So sorry. Anybody have $8.95 plus tax and shipping unrelated? What could you be buying?
There should be some reverse way to like donate money to the viewers from us.
Oh my god, that would. Here's the thing:
I'd drop
if we ever got like
throw
any
your
sort of
Venmo
following
in the chat.
with like, what was that?
I said throw your Venmo in the chat, Mercury Tempest.
Yeah, have people donate to you. If we ever did get to a point where like we were somehow making money off of this and like, or we had sponsors or whatever the fuck, I would love to just like give some of the fucking money away.
Oh,
like someone would be like, what kind of tablet do you guys use to draw these? I'd be
this
like,
one. It's on the way to your house.
Yeah,
right
it's a Cintiq. You have a Cintiq now.
A lot of them do that, actually.
I know. I want that. I want to be that guy. I want to improve people's lives, but also my life is.
You gotta improve my own first, and then I'll help the rest of you out.
Not like I'm fucking like dying of thirst.
I'm doing just fine.
Doing decent, but I could be doing better. I could be helping other people do better.
Mercury Tempest says his Venmo is at Jeff Bezos Eats Poop. So there you go, everyone. Just go ahead and drop your donations over there. Some random person's gonna get some donations tonight.
Wish they had said it was Banana Sippy.
Banana Sippy.
So just to, I want to talk about my favorite thing that happened last night. Mercury Tempest is who we play Valheim with a lot, right? I don't want to say their name. But we were playing Valheim with Mercury Tempest last night, and we were just like, once it gets to a certain like lateness in the morning, like once it hits like 3 o'clock in the morning, most of what we say is gibberish and like barely intelligible, like as English.
I think any
so
of
we just
our
start saying shit to each other.
What was that? I think any of our viewers who game might kind of be able to identify with that kind of situation.
Or anyone who watches us on any of our, like, half the time that's what our show ends up devolving into, is us being like...
And that's not even that late. We don't have an excuse. That's just us trying to be entertaining for 2 hours. Anyways,
But we
sorry,
were yeah, we were playing last night, and I forget what got us. We were talking about something, but like Furious George, I think is how it came up, or something like that. Which is like Curious George, but it's a giant gorilla that broke out of the zoo and is like murdering people. Furious George. But anyways, we were talking about bananas then for whatever reason, and then I wasn't thinking, and I just went BANANAISSI or SSIPPI or whatever. And then you guys actually said out loud what I had spelled out without thinking, and that's banana sippy, which is my new favorite word. I just love banana
It's a
sippy.
great one.
I don't know why. It's like so. It's just like it hits that sweet spot for me, where like it hits all the dopamine levels.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue quite nicely.
Yeah, banana sippy. I don't know why that's so fucking funny to me.
Pretty great.
Banana sippy. That's funny.
And we proceeded to laugh at that for a while.
Yep. Oh shit.
We devolved into just doing inside jokes on air now.
Yeah, let's just say fuck it to anybody
people
who's
know.
a loyal fan.
Let them, tell them what that is.
What shit is?
Yeah. Yeah.
So good friend of the show, longtime friend of the show. What are they? Roderick artist on Twitch, or it's Austin. It's my friend Austin.
He's been on the show a number of times. Yes.
Yeah. He's been really obsessed lately with a song by an artist called Wiley. Their song Boasty, which has Idris Elba as a feature on it. And when Idris Elba's verse starts, he starts by going, "Ah, shit." So we've just been laughing about that.
When you're Idris Elba, you get to enter a song any way you please, even if you aren't primarily a musician.
He was a DJ. We confirmed that he was a DJ though before he was a famous actor.
I don't know if he was before, but he definitely is one. I don't know what the progression was or the order.
Because I know he's on, or I'm not sure if the show still goes, but he, like, last year or the year before, I was seeing ads for a show where, like, it was like a comedy, where the plot of the show is that Idris Elba is a DJ for, like, rich people or whatever, and he's just kind of, like, dealing with being a single dad. So at the time, I wasn't sure if you guys were referring to that, or what you were doing. But we should probably confirm if Idris Elba has been, was, or
ever wanted to be
present participle a DJ.
We have 9 viewers right now. Thanks everybody for joining in.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry that we're just talking about whether or not someone in the
that's
chat tells us Idris Elba is a DJ. Yeah.
Don't apologize. Wait till next week to do that.
That's a great idea. I should. Gotta follow the natural order of things. Yeah, someone tell us if Idris Elba is a DJ while we finish up our... How close are you to finishing your...
I'm almost done with the line work. I haven't started coloring yet.
Okay, I'm almost done in general.
Okay.
But I could add details to it. I wasn't sure like how far I wanted to take it.
Did you color yours or...
I'm kind of just like I finished coloring the main thing, but I will. So I'm just like coloring extra shit now.
Okay, I'll hurry up.
Nah, take your time. The thing is, like, mine was the sort of thing where it's not very hard to draw, except this drawing looks terrible because I didn't look at any reference when I was drawing it. But it's not like the kind of thing that requires a lot of intense color work or anything like that. Boasty. 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 And I write for myself, no ghosty.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. It's a great sound clip though, honestly. And it's a pretty great song too. I recommend if you guys are looking for something to listen to and you don't want to hear my music, which who can blame you? Check out
Oh,
Boasty
come
by
on.
Wally. Oh,
Your music's
shit.
wonderful.
Thank you. It's just, it is the same. I mean, I guess we just added to the repertoire recently, but you know.
Everything we listen to on the show is Ian's creations. Goes by Superfly Arturo. Look him up. Every song starts with him saying that. That's his signature.
You know what's funny is like a lot of people have been like, you should drop your DJ tag in songs or something. You know how like DJs do that where they're just like,
Use DJ Khaled.
yeah,
whole
or like
thing.
there's one where it's like a lady going like Mike Wilmer, and it's like the most like
Weird every time.
uncomfortably
I
sensual.
don't think I've ever heard anybody do it where I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's always like the voice that's going like Mike Wilmer. I don't even know if that's what she's saying, but
His name
it's
is
always
Mike
like,
Wilmer? Oh no. Shit. Sorry, I'm falling into making fun of people's names again.
how dare you?
Moving on.
I don't apologize in the next episode. But
I make fun of people's names for being too exciting. I make fun of people's names for being the blandest thing I've ever heard. I'm just a bad
there's
person.
no winning with you.
Yeah. No regrets. Go on.
No Ragrets. But yeah, like the voice of like the lady going like Mike Wilmer is like so, like it sounds like they like hired a porn actress to like say it as porn actressy as she could. It's like she might as well be going like, excuse me, I dropped my blow job down here and all.
They're gonna
It's
create
just
some weird Pavlovian response where I get a boner every time I hear the most bland name I've ever heard in my life.
John Smith. Oh, fuck.
Oh god!
Oh shit. But yeah, DJ tags have, I don't know, I don't mind people doing DJ tags except for that Mike Wilmer one. That one just really makes me uncomfortable every time.
But
It's
you
also very
remembered it.
ASMR the way she says it. And I just hate. Actually, let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on ASMR soundy thingies?
Some of it feels too like it's trying too hard type thing. I think there is such thing as ASMR that is like generally like everybody agrees is like a satisfying noise. But then there's all the channels that are trying to cash in on it, and those ones are usually like they feel a little too like just trying too hard to be that thing that people are into.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Those I think there are sounds that everyone is like, yep, that's a nice sound. I like that sound. But the whole channels that are like dedicated to it are usually like not really what I'm into.
I think that's fair.
Like somebody like opening like a Snickers really like right by the microphone and they're like, I'm about to eat the Snickers bar. Like that. No thanks. That's weird.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's a weird thing. I feel like it's not just ASMR at that point, it's something else for the people watching.
Well, there is actually a sexual component. Like
Not
people,
always though. I don't think generally.
No,
I think
no,
that's
no,
become a big thing of it, but I don't think that's the original.
No,
Yes.
it's definitely not. But there are people who do
Yeah.
seek out that sort of experience,
Yes.
like a little orgasmic ASMR experience. I'm not saying that's like everyone or like why that caught on. A lot of people use it because they find it very relaxing.
Or, yeah.
I'm not sure if I talked about it on this show, but about my ex who used to listen to serial killer ASMR. I don't know if I talked to.
I don't know what that even is.
Oh shit!
Seems like
okay.
those two
I
things
guess that
should be like opposite words, right?
I think I talked about that with my Wings Night friends who I recently reconnected with. But so yeah, my ex-girlfriend used to listen to, or not listen to, but she like, whenever I came home from work, I would watch a shit ton of YouTube with my ex-girlfriend because she was very much into like the YouTube community and like liked all that stuff, and she had like a list of, and I enjoyed watching them with her. Like we had a really fun time watching YouTube videos together. I'm not like making it
Right.
like I didn't have fun with it. But one of her channels she would watch was a dude who did a series called Serial Killer ASMR, which is where a dude it would start with an intro video that would end with like the first person perspective, like camera getting abducted by this guy, and then it would like wake up with like a bag getting like taken off of your head, the camera's head. And then a dude would like whisper his like manifesto to you, and pretend to stab you to death.
I hate that.
Yeah, no, it was very strange. It was the weirdest, and the series had an actual like apparent ongoing storyline that I found out after watching about the last 5 episodes of this, and it ended with like the dude dying in a shootout with the police, but he had actually escaped to like Cancun or something like that. But yeah, there was a series, serial killer ASMR. That was a thing that I've seen multiple episodes of.
Alright.
Yeah. So, but like, I'm also not a fan of ASMR sound effects in like, okay, so like, I make music because for me, music has like ASMR qualities to it. I'm not sure if that's the same for everybody, but like sometimes you hear like a dope beat and you're just like, oh, fuck yeah, that's the shit. But like if I hear like they have like those special microphones where they like super enhance the qualities of the ASMR, like those like super condenser mics, whatever you call them, and they're just like, I'm gonna unwrap this wrapper now into my microphone.
Yeah.
And like I hate that shit. I hate that. I hate mouth sounds too. I really hate mouth sounds. Like I talk about music just now being like having ASMR qualities for me. Maybe that's for everybody. I really don't know. But I heard this. I've downloaded a lot of music off of Bandcamp, like indie artists and things like that. And this one album I downloaded had like alright songs, but then the one song just played on a loop the sound of somebody like swishing a hard candy around in their mouth. And I gotta tell you, I don't delete like all of the songs I've downloaded. I have not deleted except for that one. I straight up deleted that shit off of my hard drive. I didn't want to ever accidentally hear that song ever again. Fuck, what a terrible idea for a song. So I can't do it. Like mouth sounds, like people whispering with like into a super condenser microphone, going like, "Hi, we're going bowling today." No, thank you.
I have a friend who's very anti-mouth sounds, so much so that every time we're hanging out, I'm secretly worried that I'm annoying her, like eating food.
Oh yeah, I feel the same way. When I was working at the Whitewater Rafting Center, I was taking a trip to the river the one time as I don't know, I used to work at a whitewater rafting center, and I would take people on trips and like.
Yeah, I know all this. Why are you telling me?
Oh god, no reason. This is just a private conversation between us. But the one time we were on the bus going to the river, and like this like 8-year-old girl who was going on the family section of the river, she like tapped me on the shoulder or whatever, and was just like, "Hi, I'm sorry to ask this, but the bus driver is whispering, and I have like a thing where like whispering just really hurts my brain and ears and stuff." And I was like, "Oh my god, okay, yeah, absolutely." And I went to the bus driver, and was like, "Hey, this is weird, and I'm sorry. Can you?" The girl up front, she has like a thing, she can't really deal with people whispering. Can you just like not whisper while you're driving the bus? I'm like, "Oh gosh, yeah, no problem. I'm real sorry." I'm like, "It's fine. Like you couldn't know. Like whispering's not like, you know, this is like a 1 in a million sort of like condition this person has or whatever."
Yeah.
But then the bus driver kept forgetting and would start whistling again like 3 minutes later.
Oh, whistling?
Whistling, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said whispering.
Oh, no, like whistling, like.
Oh, gotcha.
Driving the bus, whoop, boop, boop.
Got it.
Yeah, so like they kept like whistling again like 3 minutes later, and I had to keep being like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I know this is like only a 15-minute long bus trip, but you just started whistling. I know you're driving a bus. There's literally, you can't look at your phone."
Part of the job description is to whistle.
Yeah.
I think part of the test when you're like getting your CPL or whatever it is to drive a bus, you have to whistle like beautifully.
Excuse me, sir. Are you able to whistle Paul McCartney's "When I'm 64"?
Oh, am I?
Sure.
Yes, I am. Never mind.
Yeah,
turns out you can't.
What was that?
I said, never mind. Turns out you can't whistle that song that well.
Yeah, you're fired. Your whistling is a B- at best. We're looking for at least B sort of level whistling here. Whistler's mother couldn't even get a job here. Let me tell you what.
Real quick, Leviathan Dunn says there's a lo-fi artist named Splashius. Very good, by the way, but he has that same Mike Wilmer voice in his songs, but with his name. Zenut says anti-ASMR is when you're high listening to music and the song suddenly has cop sirens in it.
You mean a Jay Dilla song? That's a for those people in the world, Jay Dilla always has these sirens that go off in his songs. They always go whoop whoop. Actually, I can play those. I can actually transmit audio over my microphone now. Does anyone want to hear anti-ASMR?
Because I get shut down.
We're gonna get shut down for stealing a Jay Dilla sample, honestly, if anything. Let me just real quick.
I'm almost done.
Oh, this is not too bad.
That one doesn't sound like you're about to get arrested though, so it's not like anxiety inducing.
No.
That's like get hype. Siren.
It's almost like an air raid siren, like you're about to get nuked, like in Silent Hill or something. It's not though. It's a synth, obviously, but
every once in a while back in the day when I used to like listen to the radio, there'd be like occasionally like the radio would do like a siren or something, and I'm like, what? Why are you doing a siren? Like I'm like pulling over, like everyone listening to this is in their car. What are you doing?
Yeah. You know, I also really hate, and I get why they do it, but a lot of rap songs will like have a clip at the beginning or end of their songs where like it sounds like a bunch of people at a party, and then like somebody starts shooting into the party, and everyone's like, "Fucking run! Oh my God, they're dead!" Run!
Yeah, it always makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, and whenever I get to those songs, I'm like, even if the song was a banger, I'll like take that out of my list because I'm just like a lot of times, like if I want to like have like back when people could hang out in person, like if I had people over at a party at my house, I would like put on just like the songs that I like playlist, and that way I didn't have to like maintain it. It was kind of like already set up, but like I don't want the sounds of a bunch of people dying at a house party. Like,
playing during your house party.
Yeah, it's just
that's a fair thing to want or to not want.
Yeah. So I'll generally take those out of the running if like they start, and it's like a lot of Biggie Small songs do that. There's a couple of Tupac songs that do that, and it's just kind of like
you could argue that maybe it's commenting on some kind of culture that we're lucky enough to not have experienced ourselves. But I also don't want it playing at my party. That's fair.
Yeah. I feel like even if you grew up in that, like you still don't want to hear the sound.
Yeah, maybe even more so. It triggers someone's PTSD.
Like, oh shit, this is just like the time like cousin Mike died, because this is what it sounded like.
Cousin Mike.
Have you been watching that new Tina Fey show, Mr. Mayor?
No, you mentioned it last week, but I still have not watched it.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I really like it. They have a really fun in it where they're talking, like the one character is talking about card tables. Ted Danson's character is the mayor. He's like really rich. That's why he like kind of got the job or whatever. But and like the one character is like sort of talking about like how he lives a privileged life. He doesn't really know, he's very rich. He doesn't really know what it's like not to have things or whatever. And so she's talking about a card table, and she's like, "Yeah, you would fold like a card table." And then Ted Danson's character goes like, "That doesn't make sense. Card tables are made of like rich mahogany. Those things don't fold." And then the character says like, "No, that's the point. Card tables are made of plastic, and they're made to hold like Corona lights while you're like that you set your drink down on while everyone's milling around because somebody just fired a gun into the background party or whatever. And you're milling around in shock or something like that." It's something along those lines, but basically talking about the scenario we just described, and it's a very funny line, but that's all I got to add to. That's my. You should watch it. I recommend it. It's
Tina
like
Fey
it's still like going to its. What was that?
So Tina Fey writes some good TV. I love 30 Rock stuff.
She writes good TV. This show is very interesting because it's like they make a lot of jokes about like TikTok and like they kind of brush past the whole coronavirus pandemic because like the first episode, Ted Danson's just like, yeah, Dolly Parton bought everyone the vaccine and now like that's why everyone's not wearing masks in this show.
That's funny.
So
yeah,
it
sounds
it's
very
funny.
30 Rock, actually.
It feels like 30 Rock, but with different characters. Like it feels
Cool.
like the exact same kind of like style of humor.
Sold.
Just like more...
I'll add it to the watch list that you've created for me this episode alone. All right, are you ready to reveal those drawings?
I got it. We're gonna get banned, but yes.
All right. God, I'm worried now. All right, posting it. No. Oh, it's not bad. That is a critical fail.
I rolled a 1 when I went to the bathroom.
The
My
inside
other,
of the toilet is the cleanest part of the room.
Exactly. My other option was gonna be a dude sitting in a bed with a very unsatisfied looking woman, and the dude was gonna say, "Normally this doesn't happen." But I like yours.
Then you'd have to
That's funny.
apologize it for it next week.
Exactly, because hey, look, if anyone has erectile dysfunction or they have a short stamina, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to say that you're any less of a person because you blow in like under 10 seconds or whatever. Look, we've all been there. I hope. Certainly not me.
You're like, way to make them feel better. Just made them feel way worse at the end. Well,
Yep.
you know, what can you do? All right, I'm gonna save this.
Hey. What's the premature ejaculation?
Oh wait, I thought that'd be the sad dance party.
And then you come.
Yeah, it's the happy. There you go. I was just gonna say, it's a little bit of both.
Oh my!
Those are
What
some
a
great
whirlwind
cues.
of an episode this has been, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that. But you just said that, so I don't need to.
No reason for you to say it, so why don't you shut the fuck up? No, I'm sorry.
Deal.
I like your orcs pepperoni nips.
Thanks. I had fun drawing them.
Slightly closer to the color salami now that I'm looking at it. Maybe bologna.
Yeah, it's more of a yeah, probably salami nips, I think would be the most
Salami nips.
accurate. Bologna's a little more pink.
Everyone sound off in the chat what sort of sausage byproduct you think those nips like sort of closer look like.
Here's the theme song to the drawings.
Perfect. Do you do that whenever you do a critical?
No, but I should.
failure? You should, absolutely.
I usually do. Here, let me show you. Bring it up. Not critical fails, but like anytime somebody like, rolls low, I usually play this. Every time somebody like swings at something and misses.
Oh, it's like a miss.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, that'd be great.
Or at least like when you roll a 1. Like anything above that, like it's because the 1s and the 20s are like special occasions. You gotta like
Right.
have something specific for those.
Well, on that note, that's the end of another episode. We did it. We made
My
it to the
goodness.
end.
Made it to the end. We only apologized to 18 demographics of people.
This episode was called Regrets, so that's what we did.
I think it's accurate. I regret every minute of the past
Of your
29
existence.
and a half years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you just do like a wide sweep, you know, you're safe. I apologize for everything, literally.
Yeah, like whenever like I haven't gone to confession in many years, but when I walk into that booth, if I ever do again, the priest will be like, my son, what do you confess to today? And I'll just be like, fucking everything, man. Like, where do I begin? Oh boy.
You'd be struck by a bolt of lightning for even getting near it.
Yeah. Did you ever do confession? Just
No, I was not Catholic.
Oh right, we had the whole guilt thing.
I was Lutheran, so they just you know, no confession. All you gotta do is say sorry in your head, And God knows, you're good to go.
I wonder if there's a correlation between these two upbringings and the amount of like regret and anxiety.
Oh well,
We
yeah.
both feel.
I think Christianity in general is a religion of feeling bad for everything you've done.
Pretty much. It's accurate.
But they also give you the out of like, all you gotta do is some physical action and it's all wiped clean. Don't worry about it. Move on with your day.
Hail Marys.
You whip yourself with some beads or something. You you know, slap yourself in the face or I don't know, wave some sage around and you're good to go. I think.
That's a difference. The sage thing. That's like. That's what you do when you're gonna get your tarot card reading, which is strictly against the Catholic religion.
Yeah, we don't like to mix religions. You know, they're worried that you'll get stolen away by a more exciting religion.
Generally, the Catholic religion isn't a fan of mixing things in general. I'm not going to go much further in depth than that, but I think everyone gets at the joke I'm sort of implying here.
Well, haven't you heard from the newest pope? His main job is to tell everyone that everything's cool now, like one month at a time. He's like, by the way,
it's kind
weed, and then like the next month he's like, hey, gay people, you're all right. And that's just kind of like all he's been doing, and then you don't hear from him. He goes back into his. He might just be like an animatronic that they send out to like say things are cool, and then they reel him back in. I never see him do anything else.
And then like half of the church is just like, well, he's not a real pope, clearly.
They have like a dartboard or they have like a wall of sins, and he throws a dart, and it's like that thing is like cool now by God.
Yeah. Hey, saying hello to people who are poorer than you, God's not so mad about that anymore. I don't know. The point is, it's all arbitrary and stupid.
I'm gonna play us out.
Please do. I regret
Do you have
this.
anything to plug?
Aside from my whole life, we do this show every Monday usually, unless we have something. If we can't do it, we regret it. But check us out Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Is that all accurate? That's impressive. You know all your, Mountain Time.
Yeah. I mean, Mountain Time is just right before Central. It's asking me the states. Then I'm fucking lost. I mean, I couldn't tell you unless I think Colorado is Mountain Time.
Yep, Colorado is the state. Correct.
Is a state. I knew
you got
it. Oh my god.
You know your states. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Tune in next week for more fun times.
That's right. Now play us out.
I already did.
Oh, wait. When did the theme song end?
Like a second ago.
I regret this so much.
Oh God! Bye.